Hello and welcome to this special Cliff Notes podcast where we talk people, process and technology with the people on the floor at Southern Manufacturing 2024 over in Farnborough this week. Hey Luke, it's nice seeing you today again at Southern Manufacturing. What's your feeling from the floor today?
Cheers Tristan, yeah, good to see you too. Been a very good day. Seems to be got busier as the day gone on, and there seems to be a nice buzz in the air. I think people are enjoying being back face to face and seeing everyone.
And have you been taking the opportunity to just see people on stands, or have you been booking to catch up with people in person?
Yeah, a bit of both. So I made arrangements to meet people, and then I've got a list of people that I want to see on the stand and have a conversation with.
Mm-hmm. And then what's you reckon is your feel for the sort of mood at the moment, or do you feel people that sort of digital transformation that a lot of people talk about, do you think that's happening, that people are looking to invest, looking to move forward with what they're buying and what they're doing? It's just double downing what they've already got?
Absolutely, I think people are looking to move into digital. AI came up today, so how AI is searching the internet and how you're being found by AI. So that definitely digital is at the front of everyone's mind, not just operationally, but business development mind as well.
No, that's great. Well, you have a good day then, Luke. You have a good day and we'll catch up again soon.
Cheers, Tristan. Thank you.
On the floor at Southern Manufacturing and Electronics, and I've been joined by Sam, who runs ConeX Portal. Hey Sam, how have you been doing today?
Very good. It's a very busy show, which is always nice to see. Good representation, as always, from the manufacturing sector.
Do you feel like it's been it's looking like a good year, or is it? How do you think it represents from last year? Do you think everyone's looks a bit bigger on the floor?
Good question. It goes through phases. I think it's definitely as busy as last year, if not busier. I think the types of people here are kind of generating leads for the businesses that are exhibiting. So all the exhibitors I've spoken to, everyone they are speaking to is saying that it's the right crowd. So it's the more of the manufacturing focus, which is what we want. So yeah, in general, I think it's very positive. Everyone's saying good things so far, but that's quite often been the case with this show. It's always a popular one. It's always a good one.
It's a sort of good show for face-to-face meeting.
Yeah, I mean it's high quality leads, I would say, for an exhibitor. We're obviously not exhibiting this year, but it's good for us to meet fellow collaborators in the sector and speak to those exhibitors that we already know and can have a bit of more of an in-depth chat with. So yeah, I think everyone's finding it a good show.
Mm-hmm. And I was just asking some of the other people whether they feel that the sort of the investment and the mood for sort of digital transformation is sort of moving in that direction. I don't know whether that's a sort of sector that you also, way you follow that sector, but do you think people's appetite for investment, or are they more doubling down on what their capacity is at the moment?
Bit of a mix, really. Everyone's busy. Everyone's always busy that you speak to. It's constant busyness, which is great. But a lot of companies are now more open to how do we actually improve and optimise our existing process and what can we do about that. Everyone knows there's an upcoming skills shortage, there's a bit of an issue in the sector, so optimising, digitalising, doing all of those essentially low-hanging fruit, quick wins to move things forward is ultimately going to help the sector. And I think that's where people's focus is turning to now, which is, again, good to see. Catching up a little bit, moving things more into the this century, which is quite nice.
No, that's great. Well, thanks for chatting with us today. And how's your feel, because you're not producing parts and stuff as such, you're supporting other people. Is that always nice to see people collaborating and getting out and having conversations? Does that look good for your year?
Very good. I mean, right now we've got 3 or 4 members sat with us talking about projects and supporting one another, and that's exactly what we're about at ConeX, connecting people and encouraging conversation, encouraging collaboration, and just getting people out of their shells, essentially, to bring the sector forward.
Well, thanks for that then, Sam. Cheers. Back on the floor at Southern Manufacturing today with Gary Rice at Fermionics. So how's the floor been on day one and day two so far for you?
Yeah, so I guess yesterday was a little bit quieter, but we've had quite a lot of good conversations with people. Today's looking much busier. Already had pretty positive conversations this morning. So yeah, no, it's been pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, the middle day often gets people out the office and get them off the floor and come and have a chat. So what's the sort of feeling been, at least so far, for you? Do you think people are looking to invest in something new, or make those face-to-face conversations and get off in front of a screen?
So I think it's that. I think it's just a good opportunity for people to get back in front of people, and I think that's for us. It's a very good opportunity to network not only with like existing customers and suppliers, but yeah, just getting out to see people and having those initial conversations and seeing what they need to do to actually look at having a conversation and seeing what we can do next for them and how we can work with them.
Mm-hmm. And it would be wrong of me to say, as people can't see us on your great stand today, what is it that you're working with this week and been sharing with people today? What's your specialism?
So we're an electronic contract manufacturer. So we're looking at working with people. So our sort of selling point is to work with customers from a small prototype scale, working all the way up to larger volumes. But really, it's really about sort of working with customers, building relationships and having long-standing relationships with customers based on the fact that we've worked together, dealt with problems and issues and improved together and grown together.
Yeah, that was the feeling yesterday, talking to a few more of the people in the ConeX group, of just people feeling a bit more open to partner with other people and less have to keep it inside your walls. So it's been great talking to you today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Joined today by Ronnie Elway from AMI. How's it been going on the floor for this week?
It's been a really good couple of days so far. Nice and busy, plenty of footfall, and obviously being in marketing for manufacturing, everybody here is to a degree is relevant to us. So it's it's always our favourite show, and it's not disappointed again this year.
Mm-hmm. And we've been sort of asking how people have found the floor, and when you've got more of a service business rather than you've got large pieces of machinery and stuff on your stand to look at, have you still found good conversations and people coming out to have chats?
Yeah, I think the old adage is that marketing companies, people are a little bit wary of them, which I completely understand. But so I don't think there's a massive amount of people come specifically to look for a marketing company when they come to one of these shows. But us being here and with so many clients here, a lot of our networking conversations that we have and faces, seeing each other face to face with clients, that's as important to us as it is having people drop by the stand for a conversation.
Yeah, totally. I mean, the people do like to do business with people and shake hands. So if you can be a face and not just an ad budget or something, I think it probably does make a difference. And I mean, that's one of the key questions we've been asking at the moment in this sort of sense of digital transformation and looking forwards. Even though the economy's been a bit weird, do you feel like people are investing in the future or expanding the capacity that they already have?
I think it's a mix from what we're picking up on. I mean, we've got just over 300 clients now right across the different manufacturing sectors. So we get a lot of intel on how different facets are getting on. Some industries are slightly faster than others. Others are, investing in technology slightly different to other companies. But I think generally across the board, there's a real positive vibe about the manufacturing sector in the UK. There's loads of reshoring going on that we're feeling from our clients, and there's a lot more for us search-based marketing that's going a wider reach. So they're looking at bringing in business from different areas. And I think generally speaking on behalf of our clients on the whole, there's a lot of investment go on. There's a lot more collaboration going on between company to company as well, which I think that's more and more as we're bringing more things back into the UK. So the general vibe is people are investing. They've got faith back in the UK manufacturing sector, and it's growing. It's a really good time to be part of all of this, I think.
Is that sense that people are willing to partner with each other and explore new relationships if they're reshoring?
Absolutely. I think where companies are realizing that trying to bring everything in-house all the time is maybe not the best answer, and being able to utilize partners, unofficial relationships with people that are down the road, word of mouth, saying that we can do this part of the job, but we can't do this. Can you help us win the contract by doing this part? I think it makes absolute sense for these manufacturers to collaborate more and more where they can, where there is there's not any sort of stepping on toes. It's winning business for the good of the UK manufacturing sector in general.
Well, that's been great, and it's always great to see you guys show up at this show and see you around the country as well. Do you want to leave us with what's your 1 or 2 words for your outlook of the year?
Just really positive, as I said. Personally, as a business, we're finding we're in a really good period of growth at the moment, and strength to strength. I mean, our interest is in UK manufacturing in general, and we'll do everything that we can, not just to promote ourselves, but to promote our clients, our partners, our suppliers, and of course the manufacturing industry as a whole in the UK.
No, it's great. Thanks for joining us today. Hey there, so we're on the floor at Southern Manufacturing Electronics again. James Worthington of My Workwear. How are you feeling about the show floor again there, James?
Very positive, actually, thanks Tristan. I've only turned up this afternoon. I've had a team here yesterday and this morning, and then I've come along with my colleague Meg this afternoon. We swapped with change of guard as such. But yes, yesterday the feedback I got the feedback I got from the guys was very good, and I think they said we had about 70 leads, which is fantastic, really. As I say, I've only come on the stand this afternoon, but again, this morning apparently it was very busy, and this afternoon Meg and I have probably spoken to about 20 people. So yes, very positive. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You feel like with the sort of opening up over the last year or so that people are enjoying getting back out and shaking hands and making new agreements, but in person?
Absolutely, yes, we're seeing a lot more of it now. It's great that we're all getting out and about, and the business world's coming back to life again, I suppose. Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And we've been seeing, so some of the stands we've been talking to today are part of say a collective like ConeX Portal. Do you feel like the UK is working more together? Some of the reshoring and things is encouraging people. They don't need everything inside their own walls. There's some partnerships and some conversations going.
Massively, absolutely. I mean, as you probably know, I'm a big networker myself. Love to get out and about, and I just feel that obviously now the world's woken up again. There's lots of activity going on in that networking sort of working together world, and I get approached all the time from various associations, etc. Obviously, we can't join them all. Would love to, but just haven't got the time. But yes, there's a real good buzz about doing business in good old Blighty too, which is great.
Mm-hmm. And it'd be rude of me not to cover. So you're not working on big bits of machinery, but you're kitting out the people who are. So I mean, what's your feeling? Is the way that the year's looking? Are people like re-kitting out their own stuff, or do you think they're sort of expanding and exploring new avenues?
A bit of both, really. I mean, we do what it says on the tin, obviously workwear, but we supply literally all industry sectors. But I would say, yeah, there's a mixture of some that are just sticking with what they've got, and keeping to the, not potentially not growing, but keeping to the workforce that they've got. But then there are other companies out there that are growing and growing rapidly, and we've got new starters left, right, and centre. So yeah, we get a bit of both. Really, very lucky.
Mm-hmm. And just to leave us, what's your sort of word or two for the year? What do you feel your outlook is?
Outlook's positive, absolutely. I mean, I don't try and tend to look at the press too much, because I always feel it's a bit too negative for my liking, especially about the manufacturing and engineering industries in this country. But I go into a lot of factories myself, speak to a lot of business owners, and it's a very different story that some media like to post on. I think I generally think it's positive. Definitely, it's positive. People are just getting on with it, so it's good.
That's great. Thanks for joining us. Speaking to Logan Wheeler over at Vision Engineering. How's it been on the floor for these first couple of days of the week?
It's been a really good show so far. It's been quite busy. We're having good quality conversations. We found that typically if you have a good first day, you follow on to the second day, it's going to be even better. So yeah, today's been really good. Hoping for the same again tomorrow. But hard work starts after the show, obviously, when you're following up all these leads.
And do you feel that you've got existing customers or people who want to come out and shake your hand and see who you are, or you've had a good deal of new people who've exploring your properties too?
We've had a really good mixture of a bit of both. We're based in the south. We're a southern manufacturing company based in Send in Surrey, so this really is our stomping ground. So we have got a lot of customers that are based around here, and this gives us a really good opportunity to catch up with those customers that we might not necessarily see throughout the year, where they can come to us, they can have a chat, they can bring new parts and new opportunities and have a look at the new products we have in our stand, and it's really good for us.
Mm-hmm. And just briefly, because it's just a soundbite, but you've got like inspection equipment and testing equipment here. Feels like you've got a bigger stand. You've got more on display this year. So is it going well with having that offering? So
we're always trying to innovate and come up with the next best thing with our microscopes. And obviously we've been a microscope manufacturer for the past 60 years. We're UK's largest microscope manufacturer, and we always are trying to stay ahead of the game. So I think the downside to innovating more products is, you have to buy more space to fit them on, but it's not a bad thing. We've got a nice big stand. We've got lots of people here, so we've got good. We've got a good team. We've got applications guys. We've got design. We've got some support guys. We've got somebody from the manufacturing services team, because we don't just sell microscopes. We do a range of different things. So we've got a good team, big stand, lots of smiley faces. It's been a good show. The feeling we've been asking, especially the sort of digital transformation concepts that we've been looking at, is, do you feel that people are buying into upgrading and expanding their existing capacity, or do you think they've been exploring, trying to reach out to some new markets and some new areas with what they've been investigating? Sorry,
in sense of people been buying new kit because they need to work new lines and new types of parts, or they're just doubling down and upgrading what they already had?
Honestly, it's a bit of both. We are seeing expansion. I think also we're big in the electronics industry, and throughout COVID there was a lot of shortages. But now people are able to get those components again, and they're allowed they can get newer components and better components and faster and maybe even cheaper. So people are picking up these ideas and the projects that maybe fell behind during the COVID period. So we are seeing a lot of people that are pushing the limits of what they're currently already doing, so they are expanding. But also people do want to just upgrade the existing equipment that they've had for the past 20 years. So we cater for all.
Indeed, it's a good answer. And what's your feeling and the outlook for the rest of the year, either internally for your company or for the landscape of the UK? You got a couple of words, or what you summarising it up as what your feeling is for the rest of the year?
So as I said, we're always innovating and coming up with new products. All I'll say is watch this space. We've always got new exciting things happening, so stay tuned.
Oh, interesting. Thanks, Lagan. Take care. So, hey, Alex from Central Scanning has stopped by their booth today. How's it been on the floor for you today?
Pretty good, got a couple of good leads. Usual kind of quiet morning, but it picked up around 10:30. Had lots of people interested in our scanners, whether it's for prototyping, verification, where it means to 3D print prototypes, where it's to scan for validation. We've had quite a few inquiries, so we're feeling quite upbeat. Obviously, it's just the first day. We've still got Wednesday and Thursday to go, but feeling quite optimistic about it.
Mm-hmm. And do you feel people have been stopping by because they know you and they want to get an understanding rather than they're just sort of browsing the market? Do you think there's a sort of confidence to people to invest in new kit?
Bits of both. Obviously, we've been in the industry for a while. We were at the show last year, so for sure there's a couple of existing customers or people who spoke to us in the past we've said hi to. But I think the technology in itself is still, growing, the need for it. People are still using quite traditional methods to measure, traditional methods to prototype. So they are, even to this day, still dipping their toes into 3D scanning and 3D printing. As the whole idea of digitalization is still, at least in certain markets, still emerging. It's still not as saturated, let's just say, as we like to think it is, or want it to be. So opportunity for us, of course. We can also preach about the advantage of digitalization of legacy parts. So you've got classic cars, they're out of production. Although it's been used for a fair while now, there's lots of people still dipping their toes, and we're more than happy to facilitate because we also provide services for people who do not want to buy a scanner, who do not want to buy a printer, but still want to be able to restore their Ford Cortina or whatever it might be. So we're more than open for these one-off projects to kind of get people aware of the technology. If it goes well, then hopefully they'll invest in their own equipment, and we're fairly buzzed about it.
Mm-hmm. So you're feeling that people are at the moment they're using this to dip their toe in and like fill out a block of time they needed to capture a load of data, rather than they're necessarily building it into their workflow as a regular weekly activity sort of thing.
Well, yeah, it's like with any kind of large expenditure, you much rather kind of dip your toes first to say, let's spend a couple of hundred first before I spend the thousands, which kind of makes sense. So if they can validate it on one project, whether it's getting us to scan for them or it's renting our scanners, and they've satisfied their end clients to the point where they're starting to talk to their other prospects. You know, there's nothing better than a referral, as they say. So if one project goes well, hopefully it becomes a no-brainer for them, because all of a sudden all of their other clients are talking to each other and saying, oh, did you get this item 3D scanned? It's an amazing result. How did you do that, right? So the idea is via that kind of getting the first job right, let's put it that way. Let's use the right equipment, the right printers, the right scanners. They can justify to themselves, if anything, whether there's a market for themselves to invest in the equipment. So it's all good for me to say, buy a scanner, it's the best thing you'll ever buy, but they need to prove it to themselves. And a rental is a good way of doing that, to say, let me try it on one customer who's keen to try it. If it goes well, he then becomes my champion internally, right? He goes talk to my other customers to say, you should get this done this way. It becomes a no-brainer. Hopefully it's a self-fulfilling prophecy and we sell them a scanner or a printer, right? So, so it definitely works that we have that side of the business as well. We don't just sell the equipment, we also provide services, rentals, to allow people to experiment before committing to it. Because, for the life of me, as much as I want to sell £500 scanners, our scanners start from £6,000, which for certain companies is fine, but for someone who's starting out or just starting a new business, it can be quite a big outlay, quite a big risk. Especially there's, hundreds of different scanners out there, hundreds of different printers out there. So I want to check whether it's right for them. They want to validate for themselves, and we're more than happy to join them and start that journey, I guess, and that's a good thing.
No, it's great, and certainly the quick demo you were able to give us today was very enlightening and very fast. So thank you, and have a good rest of the show.
No problem, Tristan. Thank you.